Atahiru Nana prepares his farm as the rains return, but he is concerned. Recent attacks by groups of armed bandits and the presence of large herds of cattle in the area have dashed his hopes for a bumper harvest.
The Fulanis let loose their cattle to damage our crops. When you react, there's a fight. But you know, some farmers can't tolerate these sort of acts. They attack the herders and their animals. And you know, the cattle is the Fulani's most important asset.
Abdullahi Bako is Fulani. Farmers say his kinsmen are responsible for most of the attacks. But he says it's farmers who started the conflict by taking over grazing lands and cattle roads and stealing animals. He says those actions pushed many young Fulanis into crime. But the result is that everyone is now a victim.
My entire village is now deserted. First, it was the bandits who disposed and displaced us. We returned after the military cleared the criminals, only to be hunted and killed by local vigilantes armed by indigenous farmers.
Conflict between farmers and herders in West Africa and the Sahel is nothing new. But over the past 10 years, it has grown to include kidnappings, banditry, ethnic and religious violence. Tens of thousands of people on both sides have been killed or displaced. More recently, population growth and climate change have intensified competition on both sides. The conflict between herders and farmers has divided people who once lived in peace. In some areas, farmers cannot get to their land, while herders are denied access to markets and social amenities. Even the roads are not safe, despite regular patrols by the security forces. The Nigerian government has for years failed to resolve the conflict. Now it has spiraled out of control with huge consequences for people's lives.
It has halted agricultural production. Large number of uncultivated, untilled land in the rural areas in northern Nigeria, and now overstretched facilities in the urban center.
People here say the security forces aren't able to contain the armed groups, so the violence is only escalating.
You cannot win a war by merely failing. We have to go out to be wherever they are. Either surrender or they vanish, because they have made enough damage to the country.
Nigeria's president has ordered the security forces to end the attacks before the end of the year. But with the military engaged in fighting armed groups and criminals in all of the country's 36 states, not all Nigerians are confident that the deadline will be met. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Gwadabawa, Nigeria.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.